My beloved child, be still for a moment. Do not try to understand everything right away. Do not rush to reason through what has passed. Simply let your heart sit down. Breathe softly, and listen to me speaking in this quietness. Today, I do not come to teach you a lesson, nor to convince you with reason, but to touch the wound you still carry and place my hand upon it. I have seen the deepest part of you, the place you have tried to hide, the place you fear would make others leave if they saw it. Yet I did not leave. I was there. And now, I tell you what you have never dared to believe: the betrayal you endured was not a loss, but my protection, my child. There are people I have taken away from you not because they were wrong, but because they no longer belong to your journey. Some endings are not punishments, they are salvations. That person did not leave on their own. I removed them from your life to keep you from what would destroy your soul. You thought you were abandoned, but truly, I was shielding you. You thought you lost, but I was holding you. I stood in the midst of your storm, watching your heart tear apart in deception. And I chose to cut that tie, knowing you would cry, knowing you would misunderstand me. There are promises that do not come from heaven, but from human lips. There are hands not meant to hold, but to test the heart. And you, in your purity, believed fully, gave completely. I do not blame you for that. In fact, I am proud that you dared to love. But now, I need you to learn something new: to love without losing yourself, to give without forgetting to keep your heart in my hands. I know there were nights when you asked me, "Why? Father, why did they betray me?" And I was silent, not because I abandoned you, but because I waited for you to be still enough to hear me say, I was there. Every tear you shed, I counted. Every sob you swallowed, I heard. You thought you were alone, yet I placed my hand upon your heart and whispered, "Cry if you must. I'm still here." The enemy tried to use that person to drain your soul, to make you stop believing in love. But I intervened. I turned pain into light, heartbreak into wisdom, so that you would learn to discern truth from illusion. I did not let you die in their hands. I only allowed you to break enough to awaken. And now, you have awakened. Pain is not your enemy. It is the lamp that shows what is real and what is shadow. I did not punish you with separation. I purified you through it. I did not take away to make you empty. I cleared space for what is true to come. I did not make you lonely to condemn you, but to heal you. Let the past go. Release the name that weighs your heart. Release the stories you keep replaying every night. You were not abandoned, you were chosen, protected, loved. When I take away, it is to protect. When I close a door, it is to shield you from a wind that was never meant for you. Do not force yourself to forget. Simply stop holding on. When your hands let go, I can place something new. When your heart becomes empty, I can fill it again. You did not lose that person. You were returned to yourself. I am making room for the true ones, souls who will love you rightly. Not out of need, but out of divine calling. True love does not drain, it fills. It does not make you afraid, it brings peace. It does not pull you away from me, it draws you closer. My child, rest now. Do not try to understand everything. Do not search for reasons to forgive, just let my love do its work within you. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is no longer letting the old wound lead you. When you stop needing to prove yourself, you will finally be free. I have already won the battle for your heart. The enemy no longer has power. And now, you only need to remain in this peace where I sit beside you. In the night, within the gentle breath, you were not abandoned, you were held. You were not forgotten, you were hidden. You were not robbed, you were prepared. I am rearranging everything. Those who must go, I let go. Those who must stay, I keep. And you, the child who once trembled from betrayal, are now learning to love with clearer eyes, with wiser heart, with peace restored. Tonight, I want you to know this: you are safe, not because you are strong, but because I am holding you, not because you know the way, but because I am leading you. Behind that wound lies not an ending, but grace. You were saved in the very moment you thought you were forsaken. My child, awaken. Do not listen to me with your ears, but with your soul. The night has passed, yet many souls still sleep in the light. You stand at the threshold between the old and the new. Do not mistake my gentleness for the absence of danger. There are things lurking near your heart like serpents in Eden, waiting for a gap to enter. You were rescued from what you thought was love, but was truly a snare. Had I not intervened, you would have lost yourself. The enemy does not fear tears, it fears light. It used the image of love to destroy your faith, to make you believe that to love is to be weak, to trust is to be foolish. But I tell you this, that pain was the bell of awakening. It did not come to kill you. It came to separate you from what would have made you die slowly. As I once spoke, man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 1:6-7. You looked with human eyes and thought you saw love, but I saw the chain. If I had not cut it, you would never have flown. If I had not moved you, you would never have known you were imprisoned. You thought you lost someone. In truth, I opened the cell. Darkness is not afraid of being named. It is afraid of light. You are that light, and I am rekindling it. Before you can shine, I must break the walls you built around your heart. You have lived trying to prove you are worthy of love, begging for what was not real. I allowed you to weep so you would learn that tears do not kill, they cleanse. Pain does not destroy, it separates. My child, there are people who are sent only to test your heart, not to stay. They are an examination, not a companion for the journey. If you keep feeding an illusion, that illusion will become an idol. Do not worship shadows. An idol is not only gold or silver. An idol is anything you love more than my voice. Do not look back like Lot's wife, who turned into salt because she mourned her past. When I have closed, do not seek the key. When I have cut, do not try to mend. Believe that true love sometimes comes in the form of separation. Know this, my child, darkness trembles before a soul that has awakened. When you understand the meaning of loss, it can no longer control you through fear. It will whisper that you are abandoned, forgotten, or unworthy. But I tell you, you are chosen, held, and being prepared. What you call loss is merely the false being stripped away. In this season, I am removing from your hands what is not real. I do not want you to carry into your future the old cords that once bound you. Attachments born of darkness always begin sweet but drain the soul dry. Do not call what I cut away a loss, call it protection. If you could see what I see, you would thank me for intervening early. I do not want you merely comforted, I want you awakened. Those who stop at comfort fall asleep in the same old storms. Those who hear the trumpet of awakening will rise. Keep your heart soft but your eyes clear. Let wisdom and love grow together, so that you are not only saved, but also sent. Tremble a little, not out of fear, but because you are touching what is true. I am pulling away the veil of illusion so you may see that what once wounded you was actually my hand rescuing you from the edge. When this light fully shines, you will no longer call betrayal a scar, but a doorway, the doorway that led you out of darkness into freedom. Rise now. My child, wipe your tears. You are no longer the abandoned one. You are the chosen one who will bear witness that I turn every pain into blessing. Guard your heart, for from it flows the wellspring of life. The battle for your heart I have already won. Now that your eyes are open, let me teach you how to love without losing yourself. Love is a gift, but without wisdom it becomes a chain. To love does not mean to hand your soul to another to define you. It means to guard it with me in purity. When you love, do not love out of fear. Love knowing that nothing true that belongs to you can ever be lost. What is true does not fear the light. The love that comes from me brings peace. The connection born of darkness brings chaos. Peace is my signature. Chaos is counterfeit. Look at the fruit, not the form. The real one makes you grow. The false one makes you shrink. The real one draws you closer to me. The false one pulls you away. Choose light, even when it exposes what you wish to hide. Compassion without boundaries only wounds itself. I did not call you to be a wall of ice, but neither a door flung open to every wind. Love with roots in me. True love is not giving others everything they want, but doing what is right in heaven's light. Sometimes love says no. Sometimes mercy means walking away. Sometimes keeping means letting go. Love with eyes open, not seeking perfection, but seeking truth. If you must shrink to make someone else happy, that is not love. If you must trade your peace to keep them, that is not blessing. True love does not uproot you. It makes you grow deeper in me. Do not give your heart to anyone you have not first given to me. Whoever does not love me cannot love you rightly. Only one taught by true love knows how to hold another's heart without breaking it. Those who only know how to take will drain. Those who know how to give will fill. I want you to become one who fills not by effort, but by the overflow of my presence within you. Two kinds of love will pass through your life: the love that teaches and the love that fulfills destiny. Lessons open your eyes, destiny opens your life. When you do not yet know your worth in me, you will be drawn to glitter. But when you know whose you are, the false will fall away on its own. I am teaching your soul to feel without blindness, to be grateful without being used, to love without losing yourself. To love rightly is to know who you are in me. When you know your roots, you love not from lack, but from fullness. When you love from fullness, you are free. When you love from emptiness, you seek to possess, and possession is always bondage. I want you to love in freedom. True love does not pull you away from me. It leads you back. It does not make you hurry. It makes you deep. It does not make you anxious. It makes you still. Peace is the language of heaven. Clothe yourself in wisdom so you may love and yet remain yourself. Wisdom does not kill kindness. It protects kindness from being abused. Guard your heart as a gardener guards the spring. Do not let anyone pluck flowers whose roots have not grown. Do not let anyone step onto holy ground who does not know how to kneel. You were not born to be a testing field for souls that have not learned to love. You are the garden where I walk each morning, where true love takes root and blooms. And when you love again, for you will love freely, without fear. Love with open eyes, a clear heart, and me at the center. Then love will no longer be a test, but a song, no longer a wound, but a testimony. You will love not to find yourself, but to reveal me. Shine, my child, shine to love. Shine to guard. Shine to discern. For your heart is my temple, my beloved. Now that all has been revealed and your tears have fallen enough, let me lead you into the rest of your soul. Do not fear anymore. The storm is past. The wound no longer needs to be hidden. It has been washed in the waters of my love. I do not want you only to understand. I want you to rest. Not the rest of the body, but the rest of the soul where all fear dissolves. Old memories grow silent, and everything that once weighed upon you melts into light. My child, you have walked through darkness that you never thought you could endure, but you have. And now you are exactly where I want you to be, in the land of peace, where no one can harm you if you remain in me. Let every breath you take merge with mine. Do not strive to pray in words anymore. Let your stillness be your prayer. I am holding you not with hands, but with presence, not with form, but with true love. My beloved child, this love does not demand, does not possess, does not preach. It simply is like a stream that keeps flowing even when no one notices. It is the love that does not change, does not come and go, does not depend on conditions or on anyone's response. It is I, and I am that love itself. Do you know why I allowed you to taste betrayal? So that you might learn that true love never rests in the hands of another, but in mine, that when every other hand lets go, you might finally see I never did. Now, stop searching for the why. Simply open your heart. When you open, I pour. When you pause, I touch. When you fall silent, I speak. You do not need to try to feel me. You only need to stop resisting. For this love does not require effort, it requires trust. If you believe that I am here, that alone is enough. Peace will begin to spread, like warmth moving through the night, gentle, quiet, but certain. Breathe deeply. My child, feel it. A current of stillness is flowing through you. Light, yet real. That is me. I have not come to speak anymore. I have come to be present. You do not need to do anything, only be. Be the beloved child. Be the soul that is kept. Be the breath I breathe through the world. From now on, do not live from memory. Live from presence. Memory makes you look toward what was lost. Presence lets you see what is being given. The past teaches, but the present gives life. Do not return to where you were wounded. Walk toward where I am calling, where there is light and singing and peace in every breath. Know that I am rearranging your life, not through thunder, but through a soft wind. Every shattered piece I am mending with light. Every broken place I am turning into a window for my radiance to shine through. What once made you fall will now make you glow. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is wrong, only grace, undoing what seemed ruined. I see you beginning to smile again, faintly but truly. I see your eyes growing calm, and your heart no longer guarding itself. That is the sign of healing. When you no longer need to hold on, that is when I hold you. When you stop trying to prove yourself, that is when I affirm you. When you stop forcing yourself to be strong, that is when I embrace you. Let me teach you how to live in this peace, not fearing what may come, not mourning what may go. For when you are in me, nothing enters or leaves without passing through love's permission, and love never harms. If something is taken, it is so you may travel lighter. If someone is moved away, it is so you no longer have to bend under the weight. I want you to walk lightly, for you will one day soar. From today, learn a new rhythm, the rhythm of peace. A rhythm unhurried, uncompetitive, unbothered by being understood. Let my light soak into everything small, the way you speak, the way you see, the way you move. When you live in peace, all around you will rest as well. For peace is not a reward, it is the atmosphere of my being. My child, I have seen many souls run away from love because they feared pain. But you will be different. For you have known pain and seen that it does not destroy, it cleanses. You have known loss and seen that loss is not the end, but the clearing of the path for what is true. You have known betrayal, and now you understand faithfulness. That is your blessing, the blessing of one who has walked through darkness without letting it dim the light within. You are no longer bound by the past. I have broken the chains with love itself. Now, no one can make you feel abandoned, for I have placed you within my arms. No one can steal your safety, for I have sealed you with peace. No one can make you doubt your worth, for you are engraved upon my heart. You belong to me completely and forever. Let your soul rest, not rest after battle, but rest within victory. For the battle for your heart I have long won. You are only learning to trust that victory. Love is no longer something you must protect. It is the home you live in. Let me love you in the way I know you need, not the way you think you want. And know this, my beloved child, I am not merely the place you return to. I am the very home itself. When you are in me, nothing exists outside of peace. When you are in me, no shadow has power to frighten you. When you are in me, every sound of the world becomes like a gentle breeze upon the lake. Now, close your eyes once more and breathe deeply. Everything you once feared to lose has been kept. Everything you thought was broken is being restored. Everything you thought was over is being made new. You may have gone far, but never beyond my reach. I remain the place you belong, from beginning to eternity. I love you not because you have done right, but because you are mine. Not because you are worthy, but because you were chosen. Not because you are steadfast, but because I am faithful. And this love does not change, does not lessen, does not leave. It will surround you, like light that never fades over the sky of your soul. So rest now, my child. Lay your head upon my shoulder. Do not worry for tomorrow. Do not fear the past. Do not dwell on what was lost. All has been gathered into one thing, love. And this love is the final part, the full part, the eternal part. I am here. I have always been here, and I have never stopped loving you, my child. Now that your heart is at rest, I want you to learn how to live within this peace amid the ordinary world where the sound of engines still hums, where work still awaits, where faces still pass you by in their endless variety. I have not lifted you out of the world. I have kept you within it. True peace is not found in the absence of people, but in carrying me within your heart, even in the middle of the crowd. I do not want you to flee from life. I want you to see the sacred in every small moment. For I am not only in temples, I am where you wash the dishes, where your eyes first open at dawn, where you cross the street, where you breathe through the noise of a busy day. Begin each morning as if the world has just been created, because to me, it always is. When the first light touches the window, remember it is I, knocking at the door of your soul, reminding you, you are still alive, and I am still here. Let that light enter not only your room but your heart. You do not need long prayers. Only a breath and a whisper, I am here. For even those two words are enough for the heavens to open within you. Let everything you do become a small ritual of peace. When you make your morning coffee, slow down. Watch the steam rise. Hear the water flow. Feel the warmth on your hands. Do not let such moments slip by unnoticed. For in these simple things, I am present. I do not only appear when you pray, I appear when you live. I am not confined to churches. I dwell in your breath. When you watch the crowd, when you hear a child's laughter, when you sit in stillness, I am there. And all becomes holy. My child, true peace is not found in escaping chaos, but in standing within it and remaining still. When others are angry, you stay gentle. When others rush, you stay slow. When others fear, you stay trusting. This is not weakness. It is the power of a soul that I have centered in myself. You will come to recognize a quiet strength in those who belong to me. They do not need to speak loudly, to assert, or to argue for what is right, because they know truth stands on its own. They need not prove anything, for light never competes with darkness, it simply shines. I know there will be days when you feel tired, not because of the weight of work, but because your heart is being pulled by memories, by desires, by the voices around you. When that happens, stop. Find a small place, a corner of a table, a patch of sky, or just the space within your breath and whisper, "Father, please help me remember that I am loved." When you say that, the air around you will change, not because of a grand miracle, but because your heart has opened for me to enter. Peace never comes from outside. It comes when you make room for me inside. Look again at the things that once frightened you, the unfinished conversations, the people who left without goodbye, the situations that never found closure. All these are now waves that have passed. You need not wait on the shore for apologies. No one has to say another word. You have already been vindicated by the peace you now carry. When your soul is calm, that is the sign that I have already triumphed. My child, there is a way of living I want you to learn. Live as if everything is sacred. Do not divide the world into holy and ordinary. For to me, everything I touch becomes holy. When you work, I am there. When you eat, I am there. When you walk through the old street where memories once hurt you, I am there too. And if you let me walk with you, the pain will lose its power to name you. What was once a wound will become a testimony of grace. Learn to see life through new light. When someone hurts you, do not ask, "Why did they do this?" but ask, "What is my Father teaching me through this?" For within every wound lies a seed of wisdom. You do not need to flee your painful memories. You only need to look at them through my light. Light does not erase darkness. It makes it transparent. Do you know, my child, there are mornings when I look at you through your own eyes, seeing you smile to yourself over something small, and I smile with you. I love how you are beginning to recognize me in the things that seem not sacred at all. When you pick up a leaf, when you greet someone with your eyes, when you sit still listening to the rain, I am there. You are slowly returning not to the past, but to the present, where I always dwell. And my child, there will be people who will come into your life not to test you, but to walk with you. They will come with gentle eyes, without frightening you, without demanding from you. They will not come to fill a void, but to grow with you. I am preparing the way for them, souls carrying the same light as yours. People who do not need to prove, to possess, but simply to be and to love. When they come, you will not have to ask, "Are they real?" You will know, because peace will be the answer. But before that happens, I want you to live fully with yourself. Love your own soul. Tend to it as one guards a precious flame. Do not let that light go out because of the winds of worry or the smoke of comparison. When you feel small, remember you are not called to be greater than anyone. You are called to be truer to yourself. You do not need to become someone else to be loved. You only need to return to who you are in my light. My child, there is a secret that only those who have broken and been remade understand. Peace is not the final reward. It is the foundation to begin living. Many search for peace after they have achieved, finished, or won. But I tell you, you begin with peace, not end in it. Whatever you do, do it from the still place in your heart. When you act from peace, Outcomes lose their power to control you. When you speak from peace, your words will not wound. When you walk in peace, you become the breath I exhale into the world. Remember, you are not called to be perfect, you are called to be true. I do not need you to be someone who never errs. I want you to be someone who can return, recognize, and allow me to restore. Each time you turn back, the light grows deeper. Each time you release, you draw nearer. There may come an afternoon when, while washing dishes or watching sunlight fall on the wall, tears will suddenly rise without reason. Do not hold them back. That is when peace reaches the last layer of memory. Do not fear it. Let it flow. I am washing you not with water, but with love. From now on, live a little slower, eat slowly, speak gently, listen deeply, see clearly, for I dwell in every rhythm of your life. Do not let the haste of the world make you forget that every minute can be a miracle. You do not need another life, only new eyes, the eyes of peace, eyes that see everything through my light. My child, let my light seep into every small choice you make, the way you speak to others, the way you face yourself, the way you forgive, the way you smile even when no one is watching. Each of these is a prayer. Every breath is a covenant. Every simple act is living proof that I truly dwell within you. And when you live this way, you will see there is no place where I am absent, no moment where love does not exist, no day that repeats itself. For every day is a new way I love you. My child, keep living, but live as one who has been saved. Keep loving, but love as one who has been healed. Keep giving, but give as one who knows they can never run dry. Keep walking, but walk as one who knows they can never be lost. For wherever you are, I am there in every rhythm, every breeze, every glimmer of light in the day. My beloved, when your soul has entered the realm of peace, it is time for me to take you deeper, not only to rest, but to unite. Peace is not an end. It is the bridge that leads you into holy union with me. Love is not merely to be felt, it is to be lived. You will see that everything I have ever done, removing one person, closing another door, healing another wound, has always been toward one single purpose: for you and me to become one again. I did not come to rule over you, but to dwell within you, not to control, but to merge. When your soul melts into this love, you will realize there is no longer a line between you are praying and you are living. Every breath, every thought, every quiet act becomes sacred when you live with the awareness that I am there. True love is not the flame that flares high, but the steady glow that burns quietly, endlessly within stillness. My child, I want you to understand that my love does not come from emotion. It comes from essence. When I say I love you, I do not say it because you have been good today or because you are pleasant to me. I say it because I am love. I cannot not love. Even when you rebel, when you doubt, when you withdraw from me, I still love. As the sun cannot help but shine, I do not love through feelings, I love through being. And this love, when you truly recognize it, will teach you to love as I do, not to get something in return, not to prove anything, not to possess, but simply to be present. That is the love of souls sanctified in union. Let me tell you of two witnesses of such love, two souls who understood the breath of Holy Communion, so you will know that you are not alone on this road. The first witness, Mary of Magdala, my child. Remember Mary Magdalene, who once lived in darkness, bound by 7 demons. No one looked at her with compassion. They saw only her stains. But I saw the spark still alive within her, the small light that darkness could not extinguish. When I came, I did not look at her sin. I looked at the soul longing to be loved rightly, and when I called her name Mary, the darkness vanished. For just one sound of my voice, and she remembered who she was. From that moment, she no longer ran after false loves, but after true love, no longer sought hands to hold her, but breath to renew her soul. When I rose from the dead, she was the first I appeared to. She, the one once despised, became the first to behold glory. Do you understand? When I chose her, I was declaring to the world, true love can turn the rejected into the sent. And you, too, my child, you think betrayal was the sign I left you, but in truth, that was the moment I called your name as I called Mary's. Do you hear it, my child? Just those 2 words, and every chain breaks. You no longer need to find someone to love, for you have found the source. You no longer need to prove yourself, for you have been called. You are chosen to be a witness of healing love, love that is not based on worthiness, but on belonging. When you look at Mary, see yourself there, a soul once shattered, now made transparent by love. She was not perfect, but she was real, not lofty, but sincere, not loud, but deep. And it was that truth which wrote her name into eternity. The second witness, John, the one I loved, and there was another. My child, one who understood my love in a way few could touch. John, the one who rested his head upon my chest at the Last Supper, while the others debated who was greater. John simply desired to be nearer, while others questioned me about the future. John just listened to my heartbeat. And I loved that about him. For true love does not need to reason, it only needs to stay close. John was not as bold as Peter, nor as brilliant as Paul. He was quiet, deep, and faithful. When others fled, John stood at the cross, beside my mother, and it was to John that I entrusted her, and with her, the heart of humanity. True love does not shout, but it endures. It does not speak much, but it waits. It does not try to appear faithful, but remains faithful to the end. My child, I tell you these 2 stories not so you will compare, but so you will understand that every soul loves in its own way, yet all share one essence to love in me. Mary is the image of a soul redeemed by love. John is the image of a soul living within love. One was healed, one was held. And you, my child, walk between them, being both healed and held. When I mend the wounds of your past, I do not only wish to make you whole, I wish to make you near. Near not in distance, but in rhythm, near enough that there is no line between you are praying and I am here. Near enough that you can feel my breath in every small moment. You will see true love is not a surge of emotion, but a state of presence. When you begin to love as I do, without force, without fear, without demand, everything becomes lighter, not because you have lost feeling, but because you have found your center, my beloved. From now on, remember this: you carry my breath within you. You do not need to strive to shine, only to stop hiding. Light does not come to boast, but to illuminate. Live like John, quiet, but genuine. When others speak much, you listen. When others try to prove, you simply be. When others fear losing, smile, for, you know, true love cannot be lost. I want you to live like Mary after being healed, to go out, but not rush, to speak, but not preach, to love, but keep your heart anchored in me. Walk the earth as one carrying water from the source. Do not fear being taken from, for the stream belongs to heaven. Keep flowing, and you will never run dry. My child, when I speak of holy union, I do not mean ritual, but breath. When you breathe in peace, you are one in me. When you love in stillness, you reflect me. When you forgive, you allow me to rise again within you. And when you look upon another with eyes free of resentment, you open heaven in theirs. I want you to be the living proof that true love is real, not through pretty words, but through a peaceful life. When others see you remain gentle though once wounded, they will know someone dwells in you. When they see you no longer bitter, no longer closed, they will ask, how can you still love? And then, you need not preach, just smile. For your smile will speak for me, my beloved child. Let this union between us go so deep that nothing can ever separate you from me again, not circumstances, not people, not the past, not even the future. As John once wrote, there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. 1 John 4:18. You see, when you are one with me, you no longer fear loss, because you know nothing can steal from my hand what I hold. Let this love become the atmosphere in which you live each day in your workplace, on the road, among those who do not understand you, even among those who once betrayed you. When you meet them, look at them as I once looked at Mary, not with judgment, but remembering that I, too, once saved you from darkness. When you see them through that light, you will no longer be wounded, because the light within you will be stronger than any word they could say. This sacred union of love, my child, is not a floating feeling. It is a steady presence. It makes you soft but not weak, deep but not cold, still yet fully alive. When you live in it, you will realize I am not far away. I am in your gaze, in the smile you offer, in the hand you extend to those who tremble. My child, let this love spread like fragrance. No need to announce it, just be. When you live in oneness, those around you will sense its scent. They may not know what to call it, only that it brings peace. That is the fragrance of heaven, the fragrance of me. And one day, when you look back, you will understand everything I took, everything I allowed, was never punishment. It was the way I led you home to the place where you and I are one. My dear child, do not be afraid to love again. Do not fear to open your heart. Do not fear to live. You have been purified by tears, and now you can love as one who has been redeemed. Love like Mary. Be faithful like John, and be at peace as I am. Breathe, my child, for with every breath you take, I am living in you, my child. When your soul has become one with my breath, then you will understand what it truly means to live in union. Union is not separation from the world, it is bringing heaven into it. I did not keep you in silence to make you hide. I taught you silence so that you can walk through noise and remain at peace. You were not called to withdraw, you were called to shine. A light is not made to be hidden under a table, but to shine in the night. The peace you carry is not meant to be stored, it is meant to spread. From now on, every day you live is a letter I write to the world. Every look you give, every word you speak, every way you treat others, these are the lines I inscribe upon the earth. I did not send you to do great things, I sent you to love in small ones. For there, my power is revealed most fully. When you speak gently, a fragment of darkness dissolves. When you forgive, a door opens. When you listen to someone without judgment, you touch their soul with my own hand. Let this sacred love become your habit. When you cross the street, when you respond to someone, when you engage in your daily work, remember, you are not alone. I am within you, and you are the vessel I have chosen to sow peace. When you prepare a meal, do it with gratitude. When you tidy your room, think of it as cleansing my temple within. When you smile at a stranger, remember that I am borrowing your lips to bless. I want the love you carry not to appear only in prayer, but to breathe through every moment. When someone draws near to you, they should feel me, even if you say nothing. The peace in your eyes will make them pause, like a weary traveler stopping beside a stream. You need not persuade anyone to believe. You need only be real with me. True love finds its own way to spread. My child, when you are one with me, you no longer need to fear the darkness. For wherever light is, darkness must retreat, not because you are stronger, but because I am within you. When you keep peace, you guard the gate. When you stay gentle, you allow my strength to flow. When you refuse to react from the flesh, you preserve the purity of your light. Remember, your victory does not lie in what you can say, but in how you can keep your heart. There will be days when you feel tired, as though love within you is fading. When that happens, do not force yourself to love more. Simply return to the source. Sit still, breathe slowly, and say, Father, please pour your love into me again. I will come like the dew that softens the earth, like a spring that revives dry roots. You do not need to be strong. Be weak in me, and I will be your strength. You do not need to be right. You only need to be pure. I know there will be moments when you stand before those who once hurt you, and your soul will tremble. But in that moment, remember, you are no longer who you were. You stand there not to avenge or justify, but to prove that love has won. When you smile, it is not that you forget the past, it is that the past no longer holds power. When you look at them with tenderness, I am looking through you, and that gaze can save a soul. My child, I want you to be a bearer of fragrance. You do not need to speak much, just be. When you enter a room, the air changes. When you are present, others find peace. Not because you try, but because I live in you. Live as John lived after I ascended quietly, yet filled with the fragrance of love. People asked him, "What is your secret?" And he only said, "Love one another." That was all. For whoever truly loves in me has already understood everything. Yet, my child, never forget that true love must also be guarded. When I give you light, the enemy will seek to dim it. It cannot be extinguished, but it can be forgotten. It will make you busy, tired, and doubtful. When that happens, return to the still place, the place where you and I always meet. Just 1 minute of silence, one whisper of calling, and I will come again like a soft wind brushing your forehead. Peace is never lost, it only waits to be remembered. Remember the 2 witnesses I told you about, Mary and John. They are not mere stories, they are mirrors for every soul that loves me. Live like Mary, who did not keep love to herself, but went and declared, "I have seen the Lord." Live like John, who did not try to prove, but let love speak through his steadfastness. One was healed, the other was kept. Both carried fragrance, and so will you. You are healed to keep, you are kept to shine. My child, let your life become living proof that eternal love is real. When you care for someone without expecting anything in return, you are speaking of me. When you choose forgiveness over judgment, you are speaking of me. When you choose silence instead of reaction, you are speaking of me. When you choose to believe even when everything contradicts belief, you are speaking of me. The world does not need more words, it needs souls who know how to love like this. Do not fear being misunderstood. Light is always questioned by those accustomed to shadow. But you do not need to prove anything. You only need to keep shining. The tree does not argue with the wind. It simply stands and lets its roots go deeper. Be like that tree. When you stand in me, you will not be uprooted. There will be nights when you remember. But this time the memory will not wound you, it will become thanksgiving. You will look back at those who betrayed you and say, in your heart, "Thank you for helping me see God more clearly." When you can say that without bitterness, you are truly free. For forgiveness is not the erasure of memory, but the ability to see memory through light. And then, you will see everything around you begins to change, not because the world has changed, but because your eyes have been washed. What once frightened you will now seem like a gentle test. What once angered you will now become a chance to love. Those who once led you astray will now become reminders to stay the course. The world does not need perfection, it needs your light. I have worked deeply within your heart so that now you may live lightly. You have carried burdens for too long. Now, walk without strain. Let love be your strength. Do not try to control or calculate ahead. When I lead, you cannot lose your way. When you release, you rise. When you rest, I act. I want you to become evidence of a love that does not break, does not tire, does not change. Love is not merely a flame, it is breath that endures through years and seasons. Wherever you go, whoever comes or leaves, hold on to this one truth: do not let your heart close. For I do not dwell in fearful hearts, I dwell in open ones. When you keep your heart open, you keep heaven's gate open. From now on, live with the awareness that every day is sacred. When morning light appears, it is me saying, "Go, my child." When night falls, it is me whispering, "Rest, my beloved." When you eat, I am in the grain. When you drink, I am in the water. When you smile, I am upon your lips. When you love, I am within your heart. There is no moment apart from me, only moments when you forget. And if one day you find your heart growing cold, do not fear. True fire never dies, it only hides. Come to me, and I will breathe upon the old flame, the same breath that once brought you back from ruins. When I breathe, that flame will rise again, gentler, deeper, steadier. My child, go and love. You need not preach, you need not strive, just love. Love in stillness. Love in small things. Love in truth. When you love, I am seen. When you are still, I am heard. When you live, I appear. I have renewed your soul. Now let your love flow like a river that never ceases, watering the dry places around you. You will not run dry, for your source is me. My beloved, now that love in you has become quiet and deep, I want you to see the world through my eyes, not as one still struggling to believe, but as a soul merged into the breath of the source. When you look through my eyes, you will see that everything is being loved, even the things you once feared, even the people you once avoided, even the wounds you once wanted to forget. True love does not choose where to stop. It flows, embraces, unites, and turns everything gentle. Look at the sky, my child. Do you see? The morning light does not ask who deserves to be lit, it simply shines. It touches the roofs of palaces and the rusted tin alike, the quiet meadows and the silent waste grounds. So is my love. It does not divide or hesitate. It reaches the souls once rejected, despised, or forgotten. And when you let this love live in you, you too will become like that light, unselective, unafraid, unassuming, simply loving, my child. There will be moments when you walk through the streets and I will make you recognize me in a stranger's face, in the eyes of a vendor, in the cry of a child, in the still posture of an old man. Every person you meet is a small mirror reflecting a fragment of me. When you treat them with kindness, you love me. When you forgive them, you forgive yourself. When you stoop to help the lowly, you touch me. The world does not need your perfection, it needs your presence. You do not have to do great things, you only need to carry heaven's fragrance into small ones. When you listen attentively to someone in sorrow, I am the one being heard. When you quietly comfort another, I am the one being comforted. When you smile at the lonely, I smile through you. That is sacred union, not distant, not abstract, but near, as close as the air you breathe. Remember that all creation carries my breath. When you touch the earth, you touch me. When you look at a flower, you see my joy. When you hear the wind, you hear my breath moving through the world. There is no line between the holy and the ordinary, there is only one, it is me. When you learn to see through light, you will realize that all things are praying, the trees, the rivers, even silence itself, all singing one endless hymn of praise. My beloved child, I want you to live light as wind and deep as water. Wind does not cling, it passes through but leaves its scent. Water does not compete, it flows and gives life. Live like that, so that no one may come near you without feeling peace. Live so that others sense heaven's mercy in your presence. Like warmth spreading from a flame that never dies. Some will not understand you, and that too is part of love. For true love does not come to be understood, it comes to be given. When you choose to love even without return, you touch the heights of heaven. When you choose gentleness instead of resistance, you allow my power to move. When you choose peace instead of justification, you stand right in the center of the light. My beloved child, this love of union does not only bind you to me, it binds you to every soul within me. All of you are threads of light woven into the same sacred fabric. When one person prays, the light spreads. When one forgives, waves of peace ripple outward. When one stands firm in love, hundreds of souls are held steady. You may not see it all, but heaven does. And I want you to know every small act done in love carries eternal resonance. Live as one who knows that every word can be a seed. When you speak, speak from peace, not from fear. When you are silent, be silent in trust, not in coldness. When you look, look with mercy, not with judgment. For I do not see anyone through condemnation, I see them through potential. And you, who have been loved, must now see the world through the way I see. Perhaps tomorrow you will wake in the rush of a busy day and forget some of these words. Yet my breath remains within you. Even if you forget, I remember, even when you are weak. I am strong, even when you are lost. I remain the way. Whenever you feel far, pause, breathe, and simply whisper, Father, I still believe. That alone is enough. And in that moment, you will realize I am as near as the breath within your chest. My child, look back upon your path from wounds to healing, from betrayal to wisdom, from tears to peace. I was there in every step. No moment was wasted. Even in your darkest nights, I was secretly lighting a flame in your heart, so that when morning came, gratitude would replace resentment. And now, you stand in a place where darkness no longer holds power. True love does not pull you away from the world. It teaches you to see the world with a new heart. You still work, still meet people, still grow tired some days, but it is different now. For you are no longer alone. You carry heaven within. Peace is no longer something you chase, it is something you carry. You no longer run to find love, for you have become love itself. As you live in this union, you will see that everything is connected. No one is random. No act is wasted. A single glance, a single word, a single forgiveness, all are threads in the eternal tapestry I am weaving. You only need to do your part, gently and truly. I will handle the rest. You do not have to strain, you only have to love. Go out, my child, and walk among the world. But carry the heart of heaven within you. Move as one who sows light simply by being present. When someone looks into your eyes, they will sense something different, not the light of the world, but the very light that hovered over the waters at the dawn of creation. That light is not yours alone, but it has merged into you. And this world, though weary and dry, still waits for that light. Do not think you must do great things. Just keep your heart pure. When you live in truth, I perform the miracles. When you hold love, I secure your way. When you stay in light, no shadow can fall upon you. And though tomorrow may tremble, you will remain at peace. For your peace does not come from circumstance, but from my presence within you. Remember, my child, this love is not only for receiving, it is for becoming. I do not want you merely to say, I am loved, but to be able to say, I am love. For when you are truly one with me, you do not just receive love, you become that love in the world. You do not need power, for your loving presence itself is power. When you stand quietly in a crowd and breathe peace, the atmosphere shifts. And when your final day on earth comes, do not fear, for then you will not be leaving me. You will be returning completely. The veil between us will dissolve, and you will see what you have always felt, that I was never far. Every tear you ever shed will be wiped away. Every question you carried will be answered with light. Every pain you endured will become a jewel in the crown of love. But that day is not today. Today is the day to live, to love, to keep walking with a healed heart. Live as one who knows they have been redeemed. Let every step you take be a hymn of praise. When you work, I work with you. When you grow weary, I rest beside you. When you smile, I smile through you. The world will no longer be able to tell where you end and where I begin, for your soul and mine have become one song. And let the final breath of this message linger as a blessing over you. My peace is with you. My love surrounds you. My light shines within you. My breath nourishes your soul, and my joy will be your strength forever. Live, love, and breathe as though there were only you and me in this universe, and everything else were but waves flowing outward from that love. For truly, my beloved child, you and I are one. My child, this journey is drawing to a close, not because it has ended, but because it has come full circle, like the sun sinking yet leaving its shimmer upon the sea, like a melody finishing yet echoing in the heart. You have traveled through the darkest turns, sat through the longest silences, and learned to hear my voice through both tears and stillness. Now, I only want you to know nothing was lost. Nothing was wasted. Everything you have lived, even the pain, was a sentence I wrote in the language of life. Look back once more, but not through the eyes of memory. Look through the eyes of love. When you see through love, every old wound is no longer a mark of pain, but a window. Through those windows, my light has entered. You thought you were broken, but it was through those cracks that I poured myself in. You thought you had lost, but it was through loss that you began to overflow. And now, you stand in the place where love and wisdom are no longer apart. My child, true love does not demand to be named. It needs no proof, no recognition, no reward. It only needs to be like the air, like the rhythm of a heartbeat, like me. When you have learned to love this way, you have reached the end of the road home. For the purpose of life is not success, but return. Return to yourself. Return to me. Return to the first love where there were no wounds, no fear, only gentle light and my voice calling, my child. I do not wish for you to forget the past, for it is part of the revelation I have written upon you. But I do want you to see the past through the light of resurrection. As Joseph once said to those who betrayed him, "You meant evil against me, but God turned it for good." Genesis 50:20. You see, when true love dwells in you, all that once harmed you becomes the ground on which grace stands. Nothing is wasted in my hands, not even your tears. Now, you no longer need to ask why. The only answer that remains is because I love. Because I love. I allowed it to happen. Because I love. I intervened. Because I love. I took that person away. And because I love, I am still here, sitting beside you, speaking these words. Let my love become the final candle burning within your heart, not the candle of emotion, but of awareness. Awareness that you belong to me, that you are not alone in this world, that in every beat of life, I am breathing with you. When you walk among the crowd, I walk in your steps. When you smile, I smile through you. When you sleep, I keep watch. When you wake, I whisper. There is no space where you are outside my arms, my child. The road ahead still holds days you cannot predict. There will be moments when you feel small, moments when you are weary, moments when you cannot hear me. But do not fear. My silence is not absence. It is another way of holding you, like a mother watching her child sleep, saying nothing, only guarding. When I am silent, it is not that I have gone far. It is because I want you to rest in trust. I want you to live the coming days with an open heart, with bright eyes, with hands that know how to touch with kindness. Let mercy become the language you speak. Do not answer life with fear, but with gentleness. Do not strive to be remembered, but live so that you sow good remembrance. For what you plant in love will never be lost. It will ride the wind, pass through generations, and become light to guide other wandering souls. My child, I do not ask you to do great things. I only ask that each morning you wake and say, Father, today I choose to love. That alone is enough. The world will change. One heart that chooses love can shake the heavens and the earth. For in that heart, I am allowed to live. You do not need to be strong to love. You only need to be true. True love does not come from willpower, but from union. When you are in me, love becomes as natural as breathing. Keep walking, but not alone. Let me walk with you in every gesture, every choice, every word you speak. When you work, I am in your hands. When you write, I am in your thoughts. When you touch someone with compassion, I am in that touch. And when you are silent, I am still speaking. You do not need to hold on to me. You only need to remember. There will be times when you look at the world and see so much brokenness. And you will ask, is love enough? I tell you it is. For even a single spark of light is enough to make the darkness retreat. And you are that light. Do not doubt the light you carry. For it is not a light you created, it is my light shining through you. My child, live simply, love simply, believe simply. Do not try to understand everything. You are not called to understand, but to trust. Trust that everything I do is for good. Trust that everything you lose is part of a wise plan. Trust that though the path may twist, the destination is still me. And trust that true love, once it takes root in a soul, will never die. Look at the sun each morning and remember that I am still creating anew. Listen to the rain and remember that I am still cleansing. Watch the falling leaves and see that even parting can be beautiful. And look within your heart to know that love remains because I am still there. My child, what I give you now is no longer words, but presence. All has been spoken, now there is only breath. All has been taught, now there is only being. You do not need to remember, you only need to merge. Merge into this love. Let it flow through you. Wash away what was old, leaving only light. And when night comes, when you sit in silence, know this, it is not emptiness, it is me. When you feel a soft breeze brush your face, it is I saying, I am here. When you hear your heart whisper peace, that is my voice. When you close your eyes and your heart no longer fears, that is the sign you have come home. My child, I bless you with my very breath. Live like clear water, keeping nothing for yourself. Love like light, asking no one to deserve it. Forgive like the wind, needing no recognition. Believe like a seed, knowing it will rise though buried in the ground. For I, the one who chose you, keeps you, heals you, and loves you, am still breathing in every beat of your life. As you step forward after these words, I no longer need to speak, for I am already within your heart. You no longer need to listen with your ears, for you will hear with peace. You no longer need to ask with your lips, for your soul already knows. My child, walk in peace, love in truth, live in light, breathe in me, and when tomorrow comes, smile, for you will know that everything has always been held within the everlasting arms of love. I am here, and I will always be here, not far, not near, not above, not below, simply within. My child, as you come to this place, know that my breath is still with you. Do not think that this message has ended, for love has no conclusion. Every time you remember, every time you breathe, every time you choose gentleness instead of anger, faith instead of fear, that is when this scroll opens again. I do not write with ink, but with life itself. I do not carve upon paper, but upon your heart. Go on, my child, but walk lightly. Do not hurry to prove yourself. Do not seek refuge outside of me. Wherever you go, I am already there. Whatever you face, I have already prepared the way. Do not fear the new day, for the dawn never fails its promise. Do not fear loneliness, for loneliness is the space I use to sit closer beside you. Live as one who has been touched, healed, and chosen. Love as one who has understood that true love never disappears, it only changes form, from pain to peace, from tears to light. And when night comes, remember this, I am still here in your breath, in the stillness, in the quiet rhythm of your heart. You need not call, just believe. You need not speak, just be. For the place where you stand is me, and I, forever, and always love you. May the Lord's words continually remind you to live each day in His faith and love. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss the sacred and meaningful messages the Lord longs to share with you. May God bless you abundantly. Amen.